Happy Friday, everyone. You're watching the WSUM News Friday Recap. I'm your host, Tydriana Antwi. Here's Sarah Kirsch with the local news report.
In national news, a transgender woman has sued the Maryland's Corrections Department in federal court. Chelsea Gilliam said she was improperly housed with male inmates while in jail for 3 months in 2021 and 2022. She said she was sexually assaulted and denied hormone treatment while in jail. She also claimed in the lawsuit that she was improperly placed in solitary confinement because of her gender identity. The lawsuit was filed this week against the Maryland Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services. It said the department violated Gilliam's constitutional rights by having her, quote, housed with men, left unprotected from assault, harassed, held in solitary confinement, and denied necessary medical treatment, end quote. According to the lawsuit, Gilliam was threatened with a knife and sexually assaulted by a male inmate while in the shower. The lawsuit covers Gilliam's detention at the Baltimore City Correctional Center and the Maryland Reception, Diagnostic, and Classification Center, both for 3 months. According to Gilliam's attorney, she was arrested on an assault charge at both facilities. Gilliam was released in May 2022 and is on supervised probation. A spokesperson for the Maryland Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services said that it takes the protection of those incarcerated very seriously. From WSUM News, I'm Sarah Kirsch.
Thanks, Sarah. Now here's Heewone with the national news update.
The Supreme Court has decided to temporarily extend access to abortion medication until today. This decision comes as Justice Samuel Alito signed an order Wednesday declaring that the court will make a decision this Friday. The justices were originally set to make a decision on Wednesday, but are still considering whether to allow restrictions on mifepristone to take effect after abortion opponents in Texas aim to roll back FDA approval on the drug. The case in Texas was quickly escalated to the Supreme Court after a federal judge issued a ruling that would revoke FDA approval of mifepristone. Soon after, a federal appeals court adjusted the ruling so that the drug would remain accessible but with new restrictions. Now it cannot be mailed or sold as a generic, and patients seeking it need to meet at least 3 times with a medical practitioner. Another complication arose after a federal judge in Washington ordered the FDA to preserve access to mifepristone. Mifepristone is the most common abortion method used, and medical abortions make up half of all abortions in the U.S. From WSUM News.
Thanks, Heewone. Here's another story from Sarah Kirsch.
The Wisconsin Senate moved to pass a bill that would make it easier for people who sue over open records requests to recover from attorney's fees. The bipartisan bill will move to the Assembly next. It was passed by the Senate on Wednesday. The bill must receive approval from the Assembly and Governor Evers to pass. It would allow requesters to recover attorney's fees as soon as the court says their lawsuit contributed in an agency's decision to release records. Currently, requesters have to meet with a judge to continue the lawsuit and have it ruled in their favor, even after records have been released, to recover attorney's fees. Transparency advocates warned that filing a lawsuit for records would be cost prohibitive to requesters without the ability to easily recover attorney's fees. They said that open records laws play a key role in government accountability. The measure has support from various Wisconsin transparency groups. From WSUM News, I'm Sarah Kirsch.
Thanks, Sarah. Now over to Vince with the weather.
Good afternoon, WSUM listeners. Welcome to another episode of our Friday special show. It's great being back here, and it's great having you back for another week. Weather out there today, mostly cloudy skies. Some peaks of sunshine in there, but not a ton of sunshine. Upper 50s today, mostly windy. It's always windy in Madison, Wisconsin. We keep with these temperatures into the weekend and into next week. I don't see much change going to happen all week. Stick with these temperatures. Stick with the rain chances a couple times. Stick with the peaks of sun. So no change in sight that I can see. This is Vince. Have a great weekend. I told you, it's always windy in this city.
Thanks, Vince. We would like to thank Channel 3000 for being our news partner. And thank you for watching this week's video newscast. If you would like to hear these updates throughout the week, be sure to tune in Monday through Thursday at 5 and 6 p.m. on WSUM 91.7 FM or at WSUM.org. I'm your host, Tydriana Antwi, and here at WSUM News, we hope you have a great weekend and see you next Friday.